Interstate 15 is a major interstate highway in the western United States. I-15 begins near the Mexico-U.S. border in San Diego County and stretches north to Alberta, Canada, passing through the states of California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Idaho, and Montana. The interstate serves the cities of San Diego, Las Vegas, St. George, Salt Lake City, Pocatello and Butte. It also passes close to the urban areas of Orange County, California, Los Angeles County, California, Ogden, Utah, and Helena, Montana. The stretches of Interstate 15 in Idaho, Utah, and Arizona have been designated as the Veterans Memorial Highway. Interstate 15 was built to connect the Inland Empire with San Diego in California, facilitate tourism access to Las Vegas, provide access to the Arizona Strip, interconnect all of the metropolitan statistical areas in Utah except for Logan, and provide freeway bypasses for Pocatello, Idaho Falls, and Great Falls. Since its creation, I-15 has served as a long-haul route for North American commerce. It is now officially charted for this purpose. For the junction of Interstate 515 in Las Vegas to the Canada-US border, I-15 forms part of the CANAMEX corridor, a high-priority corridor, as a result of the North American Free Trade Agreement. Also, since the construction of I-15, California, Nevada, and Utah have consistently ranked in the fastest-growing areas of the United States. As a result, the route of I-15 has substantially increased in population and commuter traffic. Route description: this highway's southern terminus is in San Diego, California at Interstate 8, although via California State Route 15, a southern extension of the freeway. The route connects to Interstate 5 just north of the Mexico-US border. The northern terminus is in Sweetgrass, Montana, at the Canada-US border, where it becomes Alberta Highway 4. It is 1,433 miles long from San Diego to Sweetgrass, California, north of its junction with the Riverside Freeway, State Route 91, in the Inland Empire near Corona. The route roughly follows the former routes of State Route 31. North of DeVore, the highway follows the approximate alignment of historic U.S. Highway 66 along with U.S. Highway 91 and U.S. Highway 395. U.S. 395 breaks the way at Hesperia and the route continues on a direct path to Barstow 35 miles to the north. Meanwhile, the old alignments of U.S. 91 and U.S. 66 follow the Mojave River from Victorville to Barstow along the National Trails Highway. At that point, I-15 follows the old route of U.S. 91 exclusively as U.S. 66 turned east toward Needles. For many parts of the highway, high-voltage power lines, such as Path 46 and Path 27, almost all originating from the Hoover Dam, follow the freeway. Many of these link distant power stations to the Los Angeles metropolitan area. The southern starting point of Interstate 15 was in 1947 planned to be in San Bernardino, at the interchange with the San Bernardino Freeway. This was logical as I-15 was following the old alignment of the historic Route 66 which passed through San Bernardino. The segment was completed accordingly. But in 1964, legislation was later passed to extend the interstate to San Diego. But instead of extending the existing freeway from the I-10 interchange south, the California Department of Transportation drew a new segment in DeVore that branched off of the original alignment and bypassed San Bernardino altogether. This segment's alignment is generally northeast to southwest for about 15 miles. Then, in Fontana Rancho Cucamonga, its directional alignment shifts to to north-south where it eventually junctions with Interstate 10 west of the original interchange in San Bernardino. The segment that had been built from Devore to San Bernardino was retained as an interstate, but was renumbered as Interstate.I-15. Note that during the construction of I-15's present alignment, and for some time afterwards, I-215 was numbered as I-15 East, and its actual mileage would begin at Interstate 10. I-15 runs for a total of 287 miles in California, Nevada. Interstate 15 begins in Primm and continues through Las Vegas along the Las Vegas Strip corridor. Then the interstate crosses the border with Arizona in Mesquite. The interstate in Nevada runs entirely in Clark County, for a distance of 123.8 miles. Arizona I-15 passes through the northwestern corner of Arizona with a total length of 29.4 miles. The stretch is separated from the rest of the state and has one major exit at Beaver Dam, Littlefield, Arizona. It includes a spectacular section where the road twists between the narrow walls of the Virgin River Gorge. Utah I-15 continues through Utah for 401 miles. It is the main north-south connection for the state. The highway approximately follows the old alignment of U.S. Highway 91 from St. George to Brigham City. The highway passes through the fast-growing Utah's Dixie region in the southwestern part of the state, which includes St. George, Cedar City, and eventually most of the major cities and suburbs along the Wasatch Front, including Provo, Orem, Sandy, Salt Lake City, Layton, and Ogden. Near Cove Fort, Interstate 70 begins its journey eastward across the country. The interstate merges with I-80 for about 3 miles from South Salt Lake to just west of downtown Salt Lake City, and also merges with Interstate 84 from Ogden to Tremonton. Along nearly its entire length through the state, I-15 winds its way along the western edge of a nearly continuous range of mountains. The only exceptions are north of Cove Fort and when it passes between Cedar City and St. George, known as the Black Ridge, a transition zone of drastic change in elevation and climate, an area where the eastern Great Basin, Colorado Plateau and Mojave Desert converge. Idaho I-15 passes through Idaho for 196 miles. Interstate 15 crosses the Utah state line in Oneida County. The highway runs through Pocatello, Blackfoot, and Idaho Falls, intersecting with Interstate 86. The last county in Idaho that Interstate 15 passes through is Clark County. Finally, the interstate reaches the Montana state line at Monida Pass. Montana. Interstate 15 continues onward through 396 miles of Montana through the cities of Butte, Helena, and Great Falls, intersecting with Interstate 90, Interstate 115, and Interstate 315. At Sweetgrass, I-15 terminates upon crossing the Canadian border into the province of Alberta. However, I-15 signage is present on Alberta Highway 4 southbound from Lethbridge to the Canada-US border. History. Interstate 15 was constructed along the route of U.S. Route 91. Once Interstate 15 was relatively intact, U.S. 91 was decommissioned, except for one part in northern Utah, southern Idaho, where Interstate 15 instead followed the route of former U.S. Route 191. Interstate 15 originally had two suffixed routes. In California, Interstate 15 had an eastern branch bypassing San Bernardino, which was designated Interstate 15 East. I-15 East was renumbered and is now Interstate 215. Present-day routing of Interstate 15 in California was originally given I-15 West as its title while it was under construction, but was never officially signed as such. In Idaho, I-15 had a western branch near Pocatello that connected I-15 and I-84. This highway was designated Interstate 15 West. It is now the western I-86. Since the construction of Interstate 15, California, Nevada, and Utah have consistently ranked in the fastest-growing areas of the United States. As a result, the route of I-15 has substantially increased in population and commuter traffic has increased the traffic burden on the freeway. Current population estimates are that more than 75% of the population of Utah, 19% of the population of California, and more than 70% of the population of Nevada live in counties where Interstate 15 is the primary interstate highway. Similarly, in California, Interstate 15 is seeing more commuter traffic due to the growth of the Mojave Desert communities of Hesperia and Barstow. In Utah, I-15 has been near constantly upgraded in the Wasatch Front, and future plans released by the Utah Department of Transportation indicate that this will continue in the north and the far south of the state as well, due to the extremely rapid growth of Washington County and surrounding areas. In like manner, Las Vegas in Nevada has seen growth along I-15, and in all of the states that it currently serves, it has recently been or is currently in the process of being upgraded to increase capacity and efficiency. The portions in Arizona, Idaho and Montana have retained the rural, long-haul character, although Arizona has also grown substantially since the construction of I-15. This highway serves only the isolated corner of northwestern Arizona. Due to this rapid area growth, the I-15 corridor is the focus of several mass transit projects. The Las Vegas monorail, frontrunner commuter rail system and Trax light rail in Salt Lake City are mass transit lines loosely parallel to I-15 that are now in operation between Los Angeles and Las Vegas has long been proposed as a maglev train route. In 2004, the California-Nevada Interstate Maglev Project held public meetings on the plan. Junction list: California, 32nd Street, Norman Scott Road in Barrio Logan, San Diego, I-5 on the Barrio Logan Southcrest, Logan Heights, San Diego Neighborhood Line, I-805 on the North Park City Heights, San Diego Neighborhood Line, I-8 on the Mission Valley East Grantville, San Diego Neighborhood Line, I-215 in Murrieta, I-10 in Ontario, I-215 in San Bernardino, US 395 in Hesperia, I-40 in Barstow, Nevada, I-215 in Enterprise, I-515, US 93, US 95 in Las Vegas. I-15, US 93 travels concurrently at northeast of North Las Vegas, Arizona. No major intersections. Utah, I-70 south-southwest of Cove Fort, US 50 north-northeast of Holden. The highways travel concurrently at Scipio, US 6 in Santikeen. The highways travel concurrently at Spanish Fork, US 189 in Provo, US 89 in Leffie. The highways travel concurrently at Draper, I-215 in Murray, I-80 in South Salt Lake. The highways travel concurrently at Salt Lake City, US 89 in Salt Lake City, US 89 in North Salt Lake, I-215 in North Salt Lake, US 89 on the West Bountiful City line. The highways travel concurrently at Farmington, I-84 in Riverdale. The highways travel concurrently at Tremonton, US 91 on the Perry Brigham City line. Idaho, US 91 north-northwest of Virginia. The highways travel concurrently at Pocatello, US 30 northwest of McCammon. The highways travel concurrently at Pocatello, I-86 in Chubbuck, US 91 southwest of Blackfoot, US 26 in Blackfoot. The highways travel concurrently to Idaho Falls. US 20 in Idaho Falls. The highways travel concurrently through Idaho Falls. Montana I-90 in Butte. The highways travel concurrently through Butte. I-115 in Butte, US 12, US 287 in Helena. I-15, US 287 travels concurrently at northeast of Wolf Creek. I-315, US 89 in Great Falls. I-15, US 89 travels concurrently at northeast of Vaughan. US 2 in Shelby. HWY4 at the Canada-US border east-northeast of Sweetgrass Auxiliary Routes. Inland Empire, California. I-215. Henderson, Nevada. I-515. Las Vegas, Nevada. I-215. Salt Lake City, Utah. I-215. Butte, Montana. I-115.